The warehouse in Boyle Heights is still burning tonight. SkyCal is over the facility where smoke continues to billow from the roof.
But LA's fire chief has an ambitious goal on the firefight as air quality remains a major worry. CBS LA's Hunter Sowards is live in Boyle Heights with the very latest there. Hunter?
Pat Rudabay, ambitious is right. You can see just how powerful the tools that have been brought in all the way from Texas are when you watch the power of it just pounding into the building behind me. We have been watching this for about the last 8 hours, methodically going piece by piece and making sure that any of these hot spots have at least enough water to start the process of putting them out. But we know this is an extremely dangerous situation. So right now those firefighters are having to stay outside of the facility versus being able to get inside and really take a look at everything that they are up against. But you can see what a mess it is left behind, as many residents tell me that Wednesday deadline just does not seem feasible. Feet from homes where thousands of people continue to live and go to work.
Super frustrating, you know.
The Lineage warehouse fire burns into another week. Thousands of gallons of water pumping into the building, targeting hot spots.
There's no help in this way. Nobody has come and check in with us at all.
For those directly impacted, they had to wait outside for hours in the smoke, all for free air purifiers and masks. Angel Balthazar says the process seemed dangerous if officials are telling people to stay inside.
All this gets like fog of smoke. A lot of people come and just to take a picture of it. I mean, if people could come and take a picture, I think the major people out there on top could come and deliver some stuff.
And that's what's been the most risky thing that we've seen thus far, is this air quality.
Health officials, the mayor, alongside council member Isabel Jurado, called for transparency after Lineage claimed the fire started when contractors were testing solar panels on the roof, a part of the building they don't own that powers to other parts of the city.
That may be their statement, but that cannot be the final word.
Lineage also claimed they were not storing hazardous materials.
Residents deserve an independent investigation into what was working there and what work was being done and who was responsible for that equipment and whether any safety or oversight failures contributed to this disaster.
I have no idea how to react or what to do or who to run to or how to feel.
For residents like Julie Castillo, who live closest to the fire, she fears what she could be returning to.
Refrigeration, batteries, lithium ion, like you just don't know what's burning and what we're breathing in.
And that is why so many are asking for an independent investigation into how this fire started. Back out here live, though, again, giving you that look at what we're seeing. This is just an immense amount of water that's being used on those hot spots. We also want to take you down the street here and show you what else we're seeing as this stretches for the length of the facility. Obviously, it is massive. They've got people up on the roof, of course, where we've seen that focus be. Now it is moving inside this facility, making sure that all of these storage containers that have groceries, food, everything that was packed inside of this facility, that nothing else is on fire, because the structural integrity is also what fire crews are really worried about right now. They don't want to send any of those fire crews in until they know that nothing will collapse. But I can tell you there's a lot of water behind me on this street, a lot of water being put on it right now, and that's not expected to slow down anytime soon. A lot of frustrated residents tonight. For now, we're live in Boyle Heights. Hunter Sowards, CBS LA.
And a lot of uncertainty still. Thank you so much, Hunter. And let's go to meteorologist Danny Roberti. She's got the air quality alerts. Danny.
Thank you, Danny. New developments in the Nancy Guthrie case. A ransom note may reveal what happened to the mother of Today's Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie.
Nancy Guthrie has been missing since February 1st, and CBS LA's Lori Perez is here with new shocking details in the case. Lori?
Yeah, this is a sad and gutting update to this ongoing case. CBS News sources say one of 2 ransom notes tied to her disappearance claimed Nancy Guthrie was dead very early on and included an apology.
We received your message and we understand.
Tonight, we have a new understanding of this anguished video response Savannah Guthrie recorded on February 7th during the frantic search for her mother, Nancy. Sources tell CBS News a note sent by Nancy Guthrie's apparent abductors just days after she disappeared claimed they did not mean for her to die, but she had, and they apologized. The note was sent to TMZ and a local news station and shared with the family, suggesting when Savannah Guthrie made this video, she knew her mother was dead.
We beg you now to return our mother to us.
There were 2 notes reportedly sent to the family via the media in the first week after Nancy was taken. The first sent one day after a doorbell camera captured this video of a masked man at her door demanded millions in cryptocurrency. Sources say the second note, with the apology, was written in similar language and style and came from the same computer address. The family has stated they believe the letters. Morgan Wright, a former FBI agent, now founder of the National Center for Open and Unsolved Cases, funded by the DOJ, is skeptical.
I call them parasitic communications because they were directed at TMZ, they were directed at a media outlet, not at the family. So you always wonder, I mean, if they wanted communication, they did not enable a 2-way line of communication. They enabled one-way.
Wright says the apology appears strategic, possibly aimed at getting attention or sympathy, but does not confirm authenticity. He says the main issue is nothing in the notes is verifiable, exclusive info only the abductors would know.
I have never in my life seen the communication go to a major news source like, and I say this in all good sincerity. I've been interviewed on TMZ about this case. I don't have anything against TMZ. All I'm saying is that if I wanted to keep it really do a ransom negotiation, I'm not sending it to CBS Los Angeles for you to put it on the air when I really need to keep it secret and negotiate.
Now, DNA recovered at the scene is still being analyzed. So far, there have not been any positive matches. The family has offered more than $1 million for information leading to her recovery. It has been 141 days since Nancy Guthrie disappeared. I'm Lori Perez. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Lori. Now, LAUSD Superintendent Alberto Carvalho is stepping down just months after the FBI raided his homes and office. In a letter to the district, he wrote, "Placing students first has always guided my work because I believe our schools must remain focused on students and learning without distraction. I am resigning as superintendent of LAUSD." Now, back in February, the FBI raided Carvalho's home district office and a property in Florida. Authorities have yet to disclose any information about the investigation, and he has not been charged with the crime.
Shocking new video of a pursuit suspect in Culver City hitting people after being accused of carjacking a man at knife point in downtown LA.
Well, CBS LA assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk now. Mike, this suspect has been charged with 10 counts of attempted murder.
That's right, Pat Rudabay, 10 counts of attempted murder, 1 for each person law enforcement accuses him of hitting before and during this pursuit. And we've got new video to show you here from a gas station, an Arco gas station in Culver City, where you see one person he allegedly ran down. We blurred the video there because the person does get run over by the car, but he wasn't done yet. That suspect then drives out into the street, turns around, comes back into the gas station parking lot, and continues on, this time driving through and going back out to the other side of the street. The top right-hand corner of your screen there, you'll see as the suspect drives out onto that major intersection, turns around, points his car at a man standing on the sidewalk, and then drives right up over the curb onto the sidewalk and into the pedestrian. The suspect would, though, once again reverse out of this position and drive back into the gas station parking lot. Once back inside the gas station parking lot, he hit another guy that was walking, this time right there, pushing him right out of frame. He would continue on then to get tangled up as he was trying to get gas with a motorcyclist that he knocks off the bike. In total, police say 10 people were injured by this suspect, including this teenager on an electric scooter who was run down right there in the middle of the road. The pursuit came to an end in the downtown LA McDonald's when police had to ram the back of his car up against a drive-through window. He was ultimately taken into custody. An officer was also injured in this whole ordeal. That suspect charged with those 10 counts of attempted murder, a whole host of other charges as well related to the allegations that he hit that police officer, felony evading, and the original alleged carjacking that started this whole thing in downtown LA. Guys?
All right, thank you so much, Mike. Well, discussion tonight in Culver City about lowering the voting age to 16, and now the city council has voted.
Yeah, the city council voting within the last hour to send the proposal to November's ballot. CBS LA's political reporter Tom Waite has details from the meeting.
The Culver City City Council voted to approve sending a ballot measure to voters that will allow them to decide whether or not 16-year-olds should be able to vote in municipal elections here in Culver City. This is something that the city tried back in 2022. It failed by about 20 votes, less than 20 votes. The City Council saying, the majority vote, saying that this is something that is necessary to keep young people engaged, to get them involved in the civic process. There are those against it saying, though, that some of these young people should not be involved in making financial decisions for taxpayers. Certainly strong opinions on both sides.
I think this is something that the city should support. We're not the first. Oakland, Berkeley, other cities across the country, Albany. It's a growing movement.
I don't think 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds should be voting on issues where they're electing people who are going to choose how our money's spent, or they're voting on measures that involve taxes.
On municipal elections, probably, yeah. I think it's like getting more people involved in local elections is great.
They don't have the experience. They're too easily influenced.
So this vote, if it were to be approved and 16-year-olds were allowed to vote in municipal elections, it would only impact Culver City, and they would not be able to vote in federal or state elections. Reporting from Culver City, I'm Tom Waite, CBS LA.
Tributes continue to pour in for legendary music producer and executive Clive Davis. He died today at his home in New York City. Davis is the man behind the music that shaped generations. He discovered artists like Bruce Springsteen to Whitney Houston, Alicia Keys, and many more. And although Davis didn't sing, write, or play music, he had an ear for what the audience wanted. He talked about his so-called golden ear with Gayle King in 2022.
You're a master at all of the genres because of those golden ears.
It's a gift that I found I had that I never knew I had.
Artists have been remembering Davis today. Bruce Springsteen wrote, "At 22 years old, he changed my life when he showed me, or he signed me to Columbia Records. He treated me with the same respect and kindness as a 22-year-old nobody, as he did after all my success." Alicia Keys posted a picture of the two of them and a quote which read, "To Clive Davis, the visionary who transformed dreams into reality." Davis's publicist says he died today at his home in Manhattan of age-related illness. Clive Davis was 94.
Comedian Carlos Mencia has bailed out of jail. CBS LA was there the moment he left the Van Nuys courthouse after pleading not guilty to a dozen tax charges. He's accused of failing to report and pay nearly $9 million in personal and corporate taxes. Mencia is due back in court in August.
A bipartisan housing bill just passed in the Senate today aimed at bringing down housing costs. It's a rare bipartisan win on Capitol Hill and the most sweeping legislation of its kind in decades. The 21st Century Road to Housing Act would increase development, streamline permitting, expand manufactured housing access, and limit investors' purchasing power to benefit home buyers. But an expert we spoke to today says there's another reason for the current housing shortage.
Because the interest rates are so high, we have a lot of people that are not willing to sell at all. Because if they sell their home, even to make a horizontal move, they're going to be paying a higher mortgage.
The legislation heads to the House for a vote later this week, where it is also expected to pass.
In the midst of turmoil and war between his two homelands, a young Iranian business owner merging history with a cultural movement as more Iranian Americans find an appetite for tapping into their culture and history.
It kind of looks like it's almost like the same color embroidered on because it's kind of supposed to like represent like Persepolis.
Meet Ryan Blorchi, economics student turned clothing designer. This is so cool.
I was just out there like working on designs all day, just drawing instead of studying, you know, drawing when I should have been studying. The detail on this is insane.
Those sketches morphing into Hood Office, a jewelry and clothing line celebrating the history and culture of pre-Islamic Iran.
What I really like about Iranian history is the patterns on a Persian rug. It's all interconnected. The mythology, and the history, you know, the legends and like the truth. And it's kind of like one beautiful but also sad like love story of like Iranian people's resilience.
Every design here means something.
They had like armored horses and like cavalry like 1,000 years before like Rome or any other civilization. And this is like a Sasanian king, Bahram, and he is a very interesting figure in Iranian history and mythology because not only is he in the Shahnameh, but he's also a real-life king.
A celebration of heritage, poetry, Zoroastrianism over 5 empires. A far cry from the turmoil that has embroiled his parents' homeland since before he was born. His dream now that Iranians in Iran can one day buy and wear his pieces. And it's kind of sad that they can't buy it.
It is a little bit, yeah, it's not even a little bit. It makes me sad. There's a lot of potential for Iran that is not being utilized, and I hope to see some changes so that maybe in my life I could contribute to making Iran a better place.
Nostalgia for a homeland under attack, for its history, its people, and what it means to those forced from it. A love story traced through the Shahnameh, Iran's ancient epic of triumph, loss, and resilience. A story that century after century is still being written.
It's not really about making money. I'm losing money actually doing this. It's not about, you know, the clothes so much. I'm going to make the clothes better, obviously, but it's kind of just about the purpose of what I'm doing and trying to kind of leave something behind after I die.
And Ryan makes his pieces for all Iranians and all Americans. It's a tough feat to stay apolitical during times of war and all the emotions that go with it, but he hopes his clothing and jewelry can unify.
I hope he gets to fulfill his dream and have his clothing sold back in his home country.
Absolutely.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get to
Next weather on
Danny
CBS LA
Rivera.
is sponsored by the first ever Kia Telluride Turbo Hybrid, built for going the distance, no matter the season.
All right, Danny, I know you're tracking a big SoCal warm-up. No.
I am.
Not me. Like we can remember that, right? All right, thank you, Danny. Still ahead here, a drone takedown.